I seek refuge with Allah from the accursed shaitan. In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, most merciful. Later, Abraham asked, "What is your mission, O messengers?" They replied, "We have actually been sent to a wicked people, to send upon them stones of baked clay, marked by your Lord for the transgressors." Then before the torment, we evacuated the believers from the city, but we only found one family that had submitted to Allah, and we have left a sign there as a lesson for those who fear the painful punishment. And in the story of Moses was another lesson, when we sent him to Pharaoh with compelling proof. But Pharaoh was carried away by his power, saying of Moses, a magician or a madman. So we seized him and his soldiers, casting them into the sea, while he was blameworthy. And in the story of Ad was another lesson, when we sent against them the devastating wind, there was nothing that came upon that it did not reduce to ashes. And in the story of Samud was another lesson, when they were told, "Enjoy yourselves, only for a short while." Still they persisted in defying the commands of their Lord, so they were overtaken by a mighty blast, while they were looking on. Then they were not able to rise up, nor were they helped. And the people of Noah had also been destroyed earlier. They were truly a rebellious people. We built the universe with great might, and we are certainly expanding it. As for the earth, we spread it out. How superbly did we smooth it out. And we created pairs of all things, so perhaps you would be mindful. So proclaim, O Prophet, flee to Allah. I am truly sent by him with a clear warning to you. And do not set up another God with Allah. I am truly sent by him with a clear warning to you. Similarly, no messenger came to those before them without being told, a magician or a madman. Have they passed this cliche down to one another? In fact, they have all been a transgressing people. So now turn away from them, O Prophet, for you will not be blamed. But continue to remind, for certainly reminders benefit the believers. I did not create jinn and humans except to worship me. I seek no provision from them, nor do I need them to feed me. Indeed, Allah alone is the supreme provider, Lord of all power, ever mighty. The wrongdoers will certainly have a share of the torment like that of their predecessors. So do not let them ask me to hasten it. Woe then to the disbelievers, when they face their day which they are warned of. In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, most merciful. By Mount Nur, and by the book written on open pages for all to read, and by the sacred house frequently visited, and by the canopy raised high, and by the seas set on fire. Indeed, the punishment of your Lord will come to pass, none will avert it. On the day the heavens will be shaken violently, and the mountains will be blown away entirely. Then woe on that day to the deniers, those who amuse themselves with falsehood. It is the day they will be fiercely shoved into the fire of hell. They will be told, "This is the fire which you used to deny. Is this magic, or do you not see? Burn in it, it is the same, whether you endure it patiently or not. You are only rewarded for what you used to do." Indeed, the righteous will be in gardens and bliss, enjoying whatever their Lord will have granted them, and their Lord will have protected them from the torment of the hellfire. They will be told, "Eat and drink happily for what you used to do." They will be reclining on thrones, neatly lined up facing each other, and we will pair them to maidens with gorgeous eyes. As for those who believe, and whose descendants follow them in faith, we will elevate their descendants to their rank, never discounting anything of the reward of their deeds. Every person will reap only what they sowed, and we will continually provide them with whatever fruit or meat they desire. They will pass around to each other a drink of pure wine, which leads to no idle talk or sinfulness, and they will be waited on by their youthful servants like spotless pearls. They will turn to one another inquisitively. They will say, "Before this reward we used to be in awe of Allah in the midst of our people. So Allah has graced us and protected us from the torment of hell's scorching heat. Indeed, we used to call upon him alone before. He is truly the most kind, most merciful." So continue to remind all, O Prophet, for you, by the grace of your Lord, are not a fortune teller or a madman. Or do they say, "He is a poet, for whom we eagerly await an ill fate"? Say, "Keep waiting, I too am waiting with you." Or do their intelligent minds prompt them to this paradox? Or are they just a transgressing people? Or do they say, "He made this Quran up"? In fact, they have no faith. Let them then produce something like it, if what they say is true. Or were they created by nothing? Or are they their own creators? Or did they create the heavens, and the earth. In fact, they have no firm belief in Allah. Or do they possess the treasuries of your Lord, or are they in control of everything, or do they have a stairway by which they eavesdrop on the heavens? Then let those who do so bring a compelling proof. Or does he have daughters, as you claim, while you prefer to have sons? Or are you, O Prophet, asking them for a reward for the message, so that they are overburdened by debt? Or do they have access to the record in the unseen, so they copy it for all to see? Or do they intend to scheme against the Prophet? Then it is the disbelievers who will fall victim to their schemes. Or do they have a God other than Allah? Glorified is Allah far above what they associate with him. If they were to see a deadly piece of the sky fall down upon them, still, they would say, this is just a pile of clouds. So leave them until they face their day in which they will be struck dead. The day their scamming will be of no benefit to them whatsoever, nor will they be helped. Also, the wrongdoers will certainly have another torment before that day, but most of them do not know. So be patient with your Lord's decree, for you are truly under our watchful eyes, and glorify the praises of your Lord when you rise, and glorify him during part of the night, and at the fading of the stars. In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, most merciful, by the stars when they fade away. Your fellow man is neither misguided nor astray, nor does he speak of his own whims. It is only a revelation sent down to him. He has been taught by one angel of mighty power and great perfection, who once rose to his true form, while on the highest point above the horizon. Then he approached the Prophet, coming so close that he was only 2 arms' lengths away, or even less. Then Allah revealed to his servant what he revealed through Gabriel. The Prophet's heart did not doubt what he saw. How can you, O pagans, then dispute with him regarding what he saw? And he certainly saw that angel descend a second time at the lote tree of the most extreme limit in the 7th heaven, near which is the garden of eternal residence. While the lote tree was overwhelmed with heavenly splendors, the Prophet's sight never wandered, nor did it overreach. He certainly saw some of his Lord's greatest signs. Now have you considered the idols of Lat and Uzza, and the third one Manat, as well? Do you prefer to have sons, while you attribute to him daughters? Then this is truly a biased distribution. These idols are mere names that you and your forefathers have made, but practice Allah has never authorized. They follow nothing but inherited assumptions and whatever their souls desire, although true guidance has already come to them from their Lord. Or should every person simply have whatever intercessors they desire? In fact, to Allah alone belongs this world and the next. Imagine how many noble angels are in the heavens. Even their intercession would be of no benefit whatsoever, until Allah gives permission to whoever he wills, and only for the people he approves. Indeed, those who do not believe in the hereafter label angels as female. Although they have no knowledge in support of this, they follow nothing but inherited assumptions, and surely assumptions can in no way replace the truth. So turn away, O Prophet, from whoever has shunned our reminder, only seeking the fleeting life of this world. This is the extent of their knowledge. Surely your Lord knows best who has strayed from his way, and who is rightly guided. To Allah alone belongs whatever is in the heavens, and whatever is on the earth, so that he may reward the evildoers according to what they did, and reward the good doers with the finest reward. Those who avoid major sins and shameful deeds, despite stumbling on minor sins, surely your Lord is infinite in forgiveness. He knew well what would become of you as he created you from the earth, and while you were still fetuses in the wombs of your mothers. So do not falsely elevate yourselves. He knows best who is truly righteous. Have you seen the one who turned away from Islam, and initially paid a little for his salvation, and then stopped? Does he have the knowledge of the unseen, so that he sees the hereafter? Or has he not been informed of what is in the scripture of Moses, and that of Abraham, who perfectly fulfilled his covenant? They state that no soul burdened with sin will bear the burden of another, and that each person will only have what they endeavored towards, and that the outcome of their endeavors will be seen in their record. Then they will be fully rewarded, and that to your Lord alone is the ultimate return of all things. Moreover, he is the one who brings about joy and sadness, and he is the one who gives life and causes death. And he created the pairs males and females from a sperm drop when it is emitted, and it is upon him to bring about recreation. And he is the one who enriches and impoverishes, and he alone is the Lord of Sirius, and he destroyed the first people of Ad. And then Samud, spared no one, and before that he destroyed the people of Noah, who were truly far worse in wrongdoing and transgression, and it was he who turned the cities of Sodom and Gomorrah upside down. How overwhelming was what covered them. Now, which of your Lord's favors will you dispute? This prophet is a warner like earlier ones. The approaching hour has drawn near. None but Allah can disclose it. Do you find this revelation astonishing? Laughing at it and not weeping in awe, while persisting in heedlessness. Instead, prostrate to Allah and worship Him alone. In the name of Allah, the most compassionate, most merciful. The hour has drawn near, and the moon was split in two. Yet, whenever they see a sign, they turn away, saying, "Same old magic." They rejected the truth and followed their own desires, and every matter will be settled. Even though the stories of destroyed nations that have already come to them are sufficient deterrent, this Quran is profound in wisdom, but warnings are of no benefit to them. So turn away from them, O Prophet, and wait for the day when the caller will summon them for something horrifying. With eyes downcast, they will come forth from the graves as if they were swarming locusts, rushing towards the caller. The disbelievers will cry, "This is a difficult day." Before them, the people of Noah denied the truth and rejected our servant, calling him insane, and he was intimidated. So he cried out to his Lord, "I am helpless, so help me." So we opened the gates of the sky with pouring rain, and caused the earth to burst with springs. So the waters met for a fate already set. We carried him on that ark made of planks and nails, sailing under our watchful eye as a fair punishment on behalf of the one they denied. We certainly left this as a sign. So is there anyone who will be mindful? Then how dreadful were my punishment and warnings, and we have certainly made the Quran easy to remember. So is there anyone who will be mindful? I also rejected the truth. Then how dreadful were my punishment and warnings. Indeed, we sent against them a furious wind on a day of unrelenting misery that snatched people up, leaving them like trunks of uprooted palm trees. Then how dreadful were my punishment and warnings, and we have certainly made the Quran easy to remember. So is there anyone who will be mindful? Samud rejected the warnings as well, arguing, "How can we follow one average human being from among us? We would then truly be misguided and insane, as the revelation been sent down only to him out of all of us. In fact, he is a boastful liar. It was revealed to Sully. They will soon know who the boastful liar is. We are sending the she-camel as a test for them. So watch them closely and have patience, and tell them that the drinking water must be divided between them and her, each taking a turn to drink every other day." But they roused a companion of theirs, so he dared to kill her. Then how dreadful were my punishment and warnings. Indeed, we sent against them only one mighty blast, leaving them like the twigs of fence builders, and we have certainly made the Quran easy to remember. So is there anyone who will be mindful? The people of Lot also rejected the warnings. We unleashed upon them a storm of stones. As for the believers of Lot's family, we delivered them before dawn as a blessing from us. This is how we reward whoever gives thanks. He had already warned them of our crushing blow, but they disputed the warnings, and they even demanded his angel guests from him. So we blinded their eyes, and they were told, "Taste then my punishment and warnings." And indeed, by the early morning, they were overwhelmed by an unrelenting torment. Again, they were told, "Taste now my punishment and warnings." And we have certainly made the Quran easy to remember. So is there anyone who will be mindful? And indeed, the warnings also came to the people of Pharaoh, but they rejected all of our signs. So we seized them with the crushing grip of the Almighty, most powerful. Now, are you Meccan disbelievers superior to those destroyed peoples, or have you been granted immunity from punishment in divine books? Or do they say, "We are all a united front, bound to prevail"? Soon their united front will be defeated and forced to flee. Better yet, the hour is their appointed time, and the hour will be most catastrophic and most bitter. Indeed, the wicked are entrenched in misguidance, and are bound for blazes. On the day, they will be dragged into the fire on their faces. They will be told, "Taste the touch of hell." Indeed, we have created everything perfectly preordained. Our command is but a single word, done in the blink of an eye. We have already destroyed the likes of you. So will any of you be mindful? Everything they have done is listed in their records, every matter small and large, is written precisely. Indeed, the righteous will be amid gardens and rivers, at the seat of honor in the presence of the most powerful sovereign, in the name of Allah, the most compassionate, most merciful. The most compassionate taught the current, created humanity, and taught them speech. The sun and the moon travel with precision. The stars and the trees bow down in submission. As for the sky, he raised it high, and set the balance of justice, so that you do not defraud the scales. Weigh with justice, and do not give short measure. He laid out the earth for all beings. In it are fruit, palm trees with date stalks, and grain with husks, and aromatic plants. Then which of your Lord's favors will you humans and jinn both deny? He created humankind from sounding clay like pottery, and created jinn from a smokeless flame of fire. Then which of your Lord's favors will you both deny? He is Lord of the two easts and the two wests. Then which of your Lord's favors will you both deny? He merges the two bodies of fresh and salt water, yet between them is a barrier they never cross. Then which of your Lord's favors will you both deny? Out of both waters come forth pearls and coral. Then which of your Lord's favors will you both deny? To him belong the ships with raised sails, sailing through the seas like mountains. Then which of your Lord's favors will you both deny?